Welcome to Artena, Italy. Today we're visiting Fattoria Battilocchio. This is a small organic cheese farm just south of Rome. They use many traditional practices to make their cheese, and all of their cheese comes from sheep's milk. At the time of our visit in early July, it's lamb season, which means that most of the sheep are either pregnant or about to deliver. We were even lucky to witness 3 baby lambs being born during our visit to the stables. Someone stays with the sheep 24 hours a day during the 2-week window when all of the lambs are born. For the first 48 hours after the lambs are born, they stay in a small pen with their mothers to learn each other's scent. After that, they can return to a larger pen before joining the herd. This is a non-intensive farm, so during lamb season, there's only enough milk to make cheese about twice a week. Maria's adding rennet to the fresh milk. Rennet is an enzyme that helps milk to coagulate and form cheese. The rennet used in the cheese made here comes directly from the stomachs of the lambs who are raised on this farm. We have to wait for about a half hour for the rennet to do its work. After that point, the curds will start to form. You can see the rennet is starting to work its magic, and the milk is getting thicker with little curds. This coincides with when the milk has been heated to about 86 degrees Fahrenheit. At this point, they turn on the blades to move the milk around more and accelerate the curdling. Maria let us try the super soft cheese, which at this point is called Ricotta. They lift the basin so that it can be drained into a tray that's lined with cheesecloth. This is a gauzy cotton material that allows for the cheese curds and the whey to be separated. Later on, we'll use the whey in another recipe. Now they take plastic baskets that have tiny little holes in them and load them up with the cheese curds. As you can see, Maria's daughter-in-law is using a pump to take the drained whey and put it into another basin. The family who runs this farm is very focused on sustainability. They try to use practices that don't let any of the parts of the milk go to waste. They pile the cheese on top higher than you would expect because a lot more of that liquid will drain out later in the process. They place the baskets full of cheese into the steamer. The temperature inside the steamer reaches 160 degrees Fahrenheit. The cheese remains in the steamer for the next 3 hours. Halfway through the steaming process, the cheese has settled and much more of the whey has drained out. They take the cheese out of the baskets, flip them, and then place them back in the steamer. Flipping the cheeses like this allows them to drain much more evenly. At the end of the 3-hour steaming process, the cheese will be half of its original size. After the cheese size has been reduced with the draining and steaming process, it then enters a salt bath. The length of time the cheese stays in the salt bath depends on the weight of the piece of cheese. Generally speaking, the cheese stays in the bath 1 day for each kilogram of weight. The cheese right out of the salt bath is called prima sale, or first salt. During the aging process for this cheese, they flip it every day. Some of the cheeses are covered with ash and salt. After 3 months of aging in the cellar, they move them to a grotto, or a cave, where they develop a nice, moldy rind. Now let's move on to the making of ricotta, which is a soft cheese made from the whey that's left over from making the hard cheese. Maria still uses an old technique to make ricotta. She harvests fig branches, which have an acidic, milky substance inside. They wash all of the branches, remove their leaves, and then cut them into about 18-inch sections. After cutting the branches down to size, they use knives to score and skin the fig branches. This helps to release more of the milky substance. They then stir the fig branches into the whey. Some other farms may use animal products to help their ricotta cheese set up, or they may use lab-created chemicals. However, the fig branches get the job done. It's satisfying to watch the transformation as the whey turns into ricotta. This happens at about 176 degrees Fahrenheit. This gentleman is a regular customer of the cheese farm. In addition to his cheese purchase, he gets a nice lunch. It's common for locals to stop by with a pot of dried out bread. They know just when the hot ricotta is going to be ready. The cheesemakers happily top off the bread with warm, fresh ricotta cheese. And the locals dig right in. Now that the customers have been satisfied and the ricotta cheese is ready, they take baskets of various sizes and fill them with the ricotta. They continue to top off the baskets as the ricotta drains, but don't worry, that fluid isn't going to go to waste. It's used to feed the family's pigs, which they eat. The cheese will be sold in 3 different container sizes: 200 grams, 500 grams, which is equivalent to about 1 pound, and 2 kilograms, which is equivalent to about 4.5 pounds of ricotta cheese. That's a lot of lasagna. To learn more about studying abroad in the Joseph S. Bruno Auburn Abroad in Italy program, visit our website, humsci.auburn.edu/Italy, or check out our Instagram @AuburnInItaly_JSB.